Hello, folks. Welcome back to the Round 15 Vegan 42 podcast. Sorry about last week, and we both just had shockers. And talking to shockers, beef, Origin.
Yes, Blues with a massive win. I guess with hindsight, you could see it coming. Queensland, too many outs, too many blokes playing out of position. But seriously, how good was Tommy Turbo in that game, right? So just New South Wales, look, everyone had a great game. So it's going to be a tough series for Queensland to score a win, I think.
Yeah, look, totally agree. And
I'd like to hear that.
Everyone bitched about the home ground advantage in Townsville. Only reason New South Wales didn't score 60 was because it was in Townsville. So, and look, I'm worried about Brisbane.
But how good was it that they had it in Townsville?
Sorry?
How good was it that they had it in Townsville, right? So rather than playing a game in Melbourne or somewhere else or Adelaide or Perth where they don't really give a shit about the game, they just want to go for the spectacle.
Yeah.
To have it in Townsville, those people would have really appreciated the opportunity, right? Something that doesn't happen all the time, right? So for me, I think you'd be better off to play an Origin in New Zealand, in Auckland, right, than to be playing it in Adelaide. But look, that's Townsville's game, and good luck to them.
Yep. Yeah, totally agree. And I prefer it was in Townsville over Bankwest Stadium, which is just another Sydney venue. So, the only two opportunities for me were Newcastle and Townsville. That was it. So
both would have been good.
Yeah.
Or Canberra. Canberra as well.
Yeah, okay. Third option, Canberra. But and to be fair, why does Melbourne even have an Origin? They got one.
Well, they do have a team. They do have a team. So they do have a stadium that holds 80-something thousand people. So it's all about the cash, right? So
that's the big ticket item. Yeah. So we'll move on from Origin, mate, because I know you don't particularly care that Queensland lost, but I was pretty glad that I didn't watch most of that game. So speaking of not watching games, round 14, Titans, what a great effort to bounce back from being pooned, but they literally still finished second.
Yeah, well, when you come back from 30-4 down and lose 35-34 after leading 34-30, you got to be disappointed. So Tits found another way to lose a game. So well done.
Yep.
Well, they probably lost the game twice, right? So, look, they really needed that win. So that could be a very decisive loss, right? Because I really thought you guys could win that game against the Chookies.
Yeah, I'm with you. It was a costly loss, especially the way that they got back to a lead. And then Fafita knocking on with 5 minutes to go, handing it over 30 metres out, and then Fogarty dropping the ball with like 2 minutes to go. Both of those things absolutely cost the win. But that's what happens when you can't have someone that can close out a game, and we just don't have that. So
Yep. Well, you guys will be better next year with Corey Norman as your 5'8". So good luck.
Why didn't we sign Reynolds? Anyway, moving on to another game that probably hurts you way too much. But that Dragons game against the Dogs, what happened?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I mean, I remember last year we played the Warriors, and the Warriors were perfect, played perfect football in the first half. And they smashed us in that first half. And everyone said, wow, aren't the Warriors playing well? And then the Dogs yesterday did the similar sort of thing, held the ball, didn't make any mistakes. I just see that's just Dragons soft in defense, had nothing going forward. It was just a pathetic effort by a bunch of pathetic loser individuals, right? So anyway, I'll be back on them again this weekend.
Nice. So look, I can't sense any pain or agony in that loss. So we'll move on to the Panthers.
And we lost to the last team, but we brought the Broncos closer to coming last. So
you know what? That's
the only solace I take in that.
That's a great way to look at it. You helped the Broncos get closer to the spoon. So cool. All right. So look, Panthers unbeaten for weeks and weeks and weeks. I don't know how many it was going back to last year, and they've lost one, and now they've lost again to the Sharks, missing 17 players, albeit. But this Origin series is going to bring these teams back to the field, right?
Yeah. Look, you know what I mean. The Panthers, you know, they rested a lot of those players, the Origin players, and made sense, right? But, you know, Matt Burton's kind of come back to earth in the last couple of weeks. NRL isn't as easy as what he thought, right? So, you know, playing for the Dogs next year, he's not surrounded by superstars. Maybe it's going to be a bit tougher season, right? But look, Panthers, I really thought would still beat the Sharks. So, look, it doesn't stop them. Whether they come first or fourth doesn't really matter, I think, you know. So they're going to be up there at the end. So don't get off them. But I don't think that the Panthers will win the minor premiership now, right? It's going to be Melbourne that win that. So, yeah, it's still going to be a Melbourne Panthers grand final. We should look at the odds on that.
Hard to disagree.
Pretty sure.
And, look, good point you brought up about Burton, and I don't think there's any better example than Kevin Proctor being a really good player for the Storm, and he goes to Gold Coast. All right. All right, buddy. Thanks for your feedback from last week, and we'll catch you up for round 15 preview, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Have a great week. Peace out.